I have a very cool garden decor project that I want to share with you. It's DIY, it's not overly complicated, and it looks really awesome. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B in southeastern North Carolina. This project that I have put together, you are going to get the benefits of some of my trials and errors. Things that I tried that didn't work, but then I came up with the glorious final piece. The DIY project that I have for you is a garden easel. That's right, the kind of easel that looks rustic. We put in our gardens just for that piece of garden decor, and our gardens and flowers are the art pieces that go on or with the easel. So let me give you a hint and tell you that this is not it. This was attempt number one, and here's what happened. I went to the little bit of woods that I have near my house looking for found tree branches or sticks or something that I thought I could use. I came across these branches and I thought they would be thick enough for my project. I brought them home, attempted to put them together, and my easel looks very, very wimpy. So I've decided to trash this idea. So then my husband felt very sorry for me because I tried that and it didn't work. So here's what he helped me do. He said, well, if we can't find the pieces of wood around in the woods that are near us, maybe we can just use scrap wood. And he put this together for me, which was very kind of him because it is much more stable than the rickety small branched easel that I started with. But this was not the look I was going for. I really wanted that rustic, full tree branch look. So then this happened. I went to visit my father all the way up in New York, and it turned out that my parents wanted to take down this large, weeping evergreen tree from their front yard. So my son was the one that chainsawed down this tree, and we pulled all the branches from the tree out into the driveway, and I told my father what I was after. My dad was a little bit concerned because this pine tree really had curved branches, so he wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make an easel that stood upright or didn't look wonky with the curved branches. But boy, oh boy, wait till I show you what we did and then ultimately how beautiful this is going to look. This is the beautiful garden easel that my dad and I put together. Now, this is not the complete product, so you actually have to stay tuned to see what I'm going to do with this so you can see the finished piece and how glorious that is. But what we did was took the biggest branches that we could. Then, because my father is a very particular kind of person, he taped off areas where we needed to actually cut the branches down to get rid of as much of the curve on the branches as we could. Then we stood them up, saw what went together, decided on what looked best, and this is what we came up with. I essentially needed the three legs of the easel, and I needed one horizontal piece to go across. I am not as particular as my father. The curves, the bumps, all like the things that make it rustic, all were great to me. So I don't want straight lines. I want this to be able to sit somewhere in my garden, wherever I want to put it, and have it look like it belongs, not like it was something I bought from Hobby Lobby to bring home to stick in my garden. So, since we used pretty thick branches, this is actually a very sturdy easel. I will leave the measurements down in the description below, so in case you want to build something similar, you know exactly how we sized this out. We had duct taped. First of all, we screwed this together. This is screwed together, this is screwed in place, and then we had duct taped around where we had screwed so that when the easel was put into the back of our pickup truck to drive all the way back to North Carolina from New York, 10.5 hours, that this was going to be okay and the vibrations of the road wasn't going to help it or make it separate in any way. So we had ended up placing these cross members here on here just for transport. But then as it turned out, I liked the way it looked. So we took the duct tape off, and then my husband and I screwed the cross members in place. So now this piece is decently heavy. I mean, it's liftable for sure. Of course, there's sap all over it because it was a pine tree. I don't know how much it weighs, maybe 25 pounds. I don't know. My husband will guess that better than I can. But this is what my frame of my easel looks like. And now it is time to show you how we're going to dress this baby up. Okay, so here's the scoop. I had done like a Google search on some garden easels and how other people have done things like this before. And one of the results came back, I think it was on Pinterest or something, and somebody had created their easel out of the sticks and branches, but then they had put a regular picture frame on the top. So that's certainly an option to do. This actually is a picture frame for artwork for canvases. And so I thought, okay, yeah, this was made to look like natural wood, or I guess it is. It has a feel of natural wood. So I thought this could work. But then as I thought twice about it, let me go put this somewhere dry, I decided instead that the look I wanted was still that same rustic curved branch look of the easel itself. So we went ahead, my father and I, and just created this little frame, if you will. So here's what we're doing. This frame sits on top of our horizontal easel piece as normal. So this is kind of the show through for where your art would be. So then behind the frame, we just simply placed a window box insert for a flower box planter, and that is going to serve as the spot where we're actually going to plant all of our plants. So the window box planter itself is 24 inches long, and it's simply about 7.5 inches deep, or wide. I guess the depth is going to be something similar, 7 inches deep. So now what's going to happen is I get to place whatever plants I want inside of here. And even though you can see some of this pot from the front or different angles, the idea here for me is I'd like to fill this up with things that'll drape and also take up a good amount of space. So one of the plants I want to use to fill this up is my sweet potato vine. So I had sweet potato vine growing in a pot, just that was essentially a spare for any kind of project or pot arrangement that I wanted to make. So I will put this in here with the draping going however I like to maybe cover up the pot, or maybe I'm not even going to worry about that too much. I don't know. And the other thing that I did was I took this Mandevilla right out of the ground in my secret garden because it wasn't going to be able to be there for the whole winter anyway. And this flower pot that I have here on my easel is removable. I will be able to take it in if I need to protect anything for the winter months. But because this guy can get fairly bushy, definitely viney, wants to stand a little, all of that kind of stuff, I thought this would be a good filler, especially with the beautiful color flowers that we have, even though this is very late season. Then the sweet potato vine, I even have creeping Jenny growing in my ground that again is also just kind of a placeholder. So I might be able to use that too. So we're gonna see how it's gonna look, but essentially we are making artwork with our gorgeous plants and flowers. is my finished product. So the very nice thing about this project is that you can change your flowers in and out seasonally, just like you would with any other pot arrangement. That is the beauty of having that window boxed pot holder, plant holder in the back there. So again, I went for the Mandevilla here. I went for the sweet potato vine here. I do have some creeping Jenny coming across from either side. These are things, again, I just keep in my ground, like on the ready for any arrangements. And then I put a mum up here just because it's fall. I had it and I thought the yellow and the red really played beautifully off of each other. So this is what it looks like, and wherever you place it in your garden, then you may have a bit of empty space or a hole to look through to see what else is back there. What flowers can we see straight through? So possibilities are endless. You can fill it up as much as you want or as little as you want. Oh, I love it so much, and I hope that you do too. Thank you for watching my DIY garden decor for this easel, turning our gardens and our plants into a work of art. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the kind of content that I provide. And until next time, happy planting.